on the recording, that you let us know. Okay, the recording has started for this session. So, welcome back after lunch, guys. Dr. Mabasa, are you in?
I am in, Doc.
Then over to you. Guys, Dr. Mabasa is going to take over and lead the following session.
Okay, let me share my slide. Doc, can I get a confirmation from your side if whether you are able to see my
I can see
face?
you. I can see your beautiful face as well as your very nice slides.
No, thank you very much. Let me just escape this and then start sharing the slides. Let me switch here. I think my slide is somewhere here. Yeah, I hope something is has popped up. And thank you. Can you see it? Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you for the opportunity, and greetings to all the students and greetings to all our colleagues from the different departments. I see Professor Chisasa is part of the of us here today. My role is just a very simple one. I'm going to be like sharing the information about one of the community engagement scholarship projects in the department. I should perhaps make a declaration that this is not the only one. The department is having 3 registered community engagement scholarship projects, but this one happens to be like the old one. And we really want to appreciate the organizers of this event for giving us an opportunity to share what we do, who we are, why do we exist, and yes, to give you just a feel of what our purpose is all about. This is business education and skills. We normally call ourselves BES, which is the acronym for Business Education and Skills Project. Now, this is the table of content that would be assisting me to speak to you. We have the introduction, we have the purpose of the project, and then we have the structure, we have the project events and interventions, and then we conclude in that particular regard. And I'm tempted to even make that disclaimer that the time that has been allocated to us, I think it is too much. Dr. Stander, when I'm done, maybe you would allow me the space to interact with the participants, just to ask questions and get clarity on some of the certain issues that we do. Allow me to start by asking you this question as a way of introducing ourselves as best to you. One of the first questions that I would like you to entertain is whether you have or you own or you know someone who owns a small business or an SME. Or the second question would be, do you know someone who wants to start one's own small business? And the third question would be that do you manage or are you in management position in a small business organization or in the SMMEs, as we normally call them. Now, if the answer is yes to one of these questions, we are the right entity to reach out, and we are making all the efforts to reach out for you. The purpose of BES, let me put it in the presentation mode. The purpose of BES, which is Business Education and Skills Project, is to equip and to empower UNISA students, right, and the community who are interested in being entrepreneurs and who are interested in running successful businesses from different communities with the necessary skills and knowledge and attitude to start up the sustainable small business in their communities. With this project, we target the following groups, and we have already outlined those groups. Group number one, or maybe the first group that we aim to interact with, to work with, are the individuals who are interested in being entrepreneurs by starting up sustainable small businesses in their communities. Now, the second group that we want to interact, or we normally interact with, are the individuals who are already running small businesses in their own communities. Now, the structure, how we have structured, we have organized ourselves as BES. This is the university registered project, and the project collaborates with other projects in the college, and it is part of the eHub, which is run by the College of Economic and Management Sciences. The people who are involved in the project are all the interested lecturers, senior lecturers, associate professors, and professors in the Department of Business Management. They are involved in the project. And the membership for the project is voluntary. So meaning that it is not mandatory for one to join the project. You join out of your own as an individual because you associate with the project. Now, the project consists of 4 subcommittees, which is the structure that consists, or maybe that makes up the whole business education and skills project. We have the business ethics, which is one of the subcommittees. And then we have the marketing, which is one of the subcommittees there. And then we have monitoring and evaluation, another subcommittee, and training, which is our other subcommittee, the last one. So when people or colleagues join, they first identify which subcommittee aligns or resonates with their interest, and they join there. Interest could be maybe the skill or the expertise that they would want to, share with the participants, but joining that particular committee at least provides them with the opportunity to do that or to share their expertise. Now, BES project events and interventions, given that as academics, we are not only focusing on the community engagement projects, we have got other contesting activities that we look at, like the teaching and learning and academic citizenship. These are some of the key performance areas that we look at, and the engagement scholarship is part of it. So under this, these are the activities that we think we organize for the whole academic year or academic period. Now we would have the business development webinar. which is going to be like a hybrid. So which means that participants will attend in person, and we will be live streaming the event. So you'll be able to access it from the comfort of your own place via the link that would provide when the event is to be carried out. Now, the second one, which is the development workshop or the masterclass. This one is informed by the successful carrying out of the first one, which is the business development webinar, which acts or serves as a precursor for all the other activities that that would follow. So the development workshop master classes will be carried out at the different centers of UNISA. Be it at Ekurhuleni, be it at Western Cape, and even in other places like Limpopo and Rustenburg. Now, we also provide mentorship. Once we have successfully carried out the business development webinar, we collate certain information from our participants, and then based on the information that we would have collated, our participants would indicate maybe the kind of need that they want us to assist them with, and then we tailor make maybe those deliverables that would speak to their individual or personal needs, the needs that would assist them to run their businesses, or even to start one if they haven't yet started. Now, once we do partner with you in terms of providing the support, from time to time, we do make a visit and we provide mentorship in those other areas that you might be having some shortcomings. And those areas, in general, they look at the functional areas like your finance, like your marketing, and your HR. All those, we have packaged them together, and then we allocated those activities to the people with relevant expertise. So once you have identified maybe a need, for example, in finance, we are able to commission maybe one of our colleagues who is an expert in those particular aspects to come and assist, and that particular person will be able to to provide mentorship for you and to provide any financial support that you would require at the time. And subsequent to that, we do the site visits to see if whether you are coping well with that, or with the training that you have received, and if whether you are putting that into practice and you don't find some difficulties in executing some of the financial needs, as an example that I have provided above. Now, we also, as one of the requirements, we do research, but this research doesn't, become part of the consumption of the participants of the project. We put together a research topic, and then we write articles, which articles we present at conferences that we identify. And some of the research articles, we submit them to the accredited journal. It is one of the parameters that is used to assess our success. So we are required to do that. So from time to time, we do that. There are some research articles that we are conducting. We haven't yet finalized any, but we are working on that. It's work in progress. If once they are ready, we can equally share with you if you are interested in having access to that. The other requirement, which is a barometer for our success, is to create partnership locally, nationally, and international. So at the present moment, we don't have the partners that we are working with, but we are working towards that. So partnership is one of the barometers that we are required to report on. We are in the process of partnering with different well-established businesses. Now, these partners, from time to time, they would assist us in providing hands-on experience training based. Since you know that ourselves as lecturers, most of us, we don't do business on an actual basis. We just do the theory part of it. We write documents, we make research, and then we teach and we do all those kind of things. But on the practical aspect, you would find that we have got a lot of shortcomings. So the partners that we would be partnering with, they come and bridge that gap. So these business representatives will be given a slot or to speak in our events about how they conducted their businesses. This is one of the many ways of inspiring our participants by some entities that are in the fields, bridging the gap between theory and practice. This one is just for the interest's sake. How do you then get access or exposed to the events that are coming? We normally publish them or advertise these events when they are about to be carried out in the platforms that are official, the university approved mediums such as the Facebook. There is the Facebook page of the college. We normally advertise there. So when you are checking out those pages, sometimes you will come across some of the events that we'll be carrying out. Sometimes we take that initiative of going to the radio and speak about the event that is underway, and then we make posters and even my UNISA, depending on how do we prepare ourselves. So we normally disseminate our events that we are planning to undertake through these approved mediums. Now, in conclusion, Chair, we want to hear from you, our potential participants as well, because we understand that this is an honors week, and the people in attendance are our honors students. We want to hear from you, and we would like to assist you by walking your business journey with you, and we can contact us if you need some small business management skills for your business success and sustainability, and you may as well recommend us to someone you know who needs such kind of services. So our email address that you can access us to is just here. So these are the presentations that I wanted to share with you, just to give you an overview of who we are, what we do, how we do things, so that at least should there be a need for you to reach out to us, we can work together. You can get hold of us, then we will be able to take that conversation further. Chair, I'm afraid that I am done. Thank you very much for giving me that ear. And if ever there are some of the things that are not clear, I'm available to take questions and to interact with you in further providing clarity to some of those things that you have missed. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Dr. Mabasa. There's just somebody whose phone call we are listening to. So, guys, please just check.
Okay.
We are listening to your phone call. I seem not to be able to find you. So I'm going to quickly mute everyone so that we don't hear what they are saying. Let's do that. Sorry, Dr. Mabasa, you will just have to unmute again. I do say there is a few questions for you in the chat. M. van Skalkwijk asks if basis for a specific industry, or can participants from any industry contact you guys?
Let me read it for myself, Chair. Is this for specific industries only, or can participants in any industry contact you? At the moment, we take any query from any industry. We don't discriminate. If we don't have the skill in-house, then, like I have indicated to you, that we are in the process of partnering with the different well-established businesses, then we will be able to refer you to the relevant people. And as you may know, that UNISA has got all the departments, so we are able to, like, liaise with those departments, like engineering, if you are coming from that particular space, agriculture, if you are coming from that particular space, then we are able to assist in that particular regard, even though the training won't be provided by us, because we are only focusing on those, 8 functional areas, the typical functional areas: your finance, your management, your HR, your marketing, and so on and so on. So basically, that is what we do.
Dubusani, do you charge any money for a consultation, Dr. Mabasa?
Dr. Stander, thank you for that enticing question. These services that we provide are free of charge. But once we reach that understanding of saying that we will be working together, we will be monitoring you, providing you with support, but we don't charge you anything. So we would want somebody who would commit to what he is doing, because our aim is to make sure that you become sustainable, and you are able to grow your business, and you are able to expand. So we assist you free of charge in those particular aspects.
And then, Dr. Mabasa, is this opportunity exclusively for UNISA students, or do you reach out to different stakeholders surrounding the university, or how does that work?
Dr. Stander, the founding statement, it indicates that we would target the UNISA students and even the communities. So even if somebody is not part of UNISA, but the person has identified some deficiencies that we can assist with, we can partner with that particular individual and assist him in those areas that we have identified. Like I have said earlier on, that if we don't have the skill in-house, then we will be able to source that skill for the person, and then we will monitor how is the relationship with the third party going, since we are the one who would have facilitated that relationship. So we do it for free, and we partner not only with UNISA students, but with all the communities who are aligning with what we want to see or to achieve, like starting a business, having a small business, and then we assist them to grow, because we understand that the impact that they will be making won't only touch or affect the UNISA students, but the entire community. So we assist in that particular regard.
Well, thank you, Dr. Mabasa. Students, any more questions for Dr. Mabasa? There's a question. Manoko.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much, Doc, for the presentation. I just have one question. Do you offer funding rather for students who wanna study more into the small business space with regards to the master's and the PhD level?
No, unfortunately, we don't provide funding for students who wants to pursue their studies further. The university has got opportunities to that particular aspect. There are bursaries that you can actually apply for. And what we can do is, if really you are interested in that particular space, we can provide maybe the information to that particular aspect, but we don't have any influence on the outcome of your application. So it's a separate independent entity that would be referring you to. So when your application is gone there, we don't monitor it, but you would hear the outcome from those entities.
All right. Thank you very much.
What we do is to provide support to those who are aspiring. We don't want to say that those who would be struggling with unemployment and stuff. No, we don't want to get into that, because people go into business for different reasons. Others they have got passion for that. Others because they want, be securing formal employments, and they would be pushed or be pressured to start something on the side. So we don't discriminate. We just assist those who are aspiring to start a business, and those who have started maybe a business, and the business is struggling to grow due to these deficiencies that we have identified, like the financial skills, marketing, and all these kind of things. That is when we come in and assist, so that at least we give you that spring jump, so that your business is able to grow and survive and succeed.
All right. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions for Dr. Mabasa? Tumelo.
Good afternoon, Dr. Mabasa. What I wanted to find out is that at what stage would you consider assisting a business? Would you assist a person who perhaps only has a business plan, or would you prefer somebody who maybe has started a business and it has been existing for maybe, let's say, 6 months to a year? I just wanted to have that idea. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. We don't have the set limitations to say these are the kind of people that we assist. If you are at the conceptualization stage, and you have got the business idea, and it happens that you attend one of our webinars and you indicate that you are at this particular stage, then we take it from there. If you don't attend and it happens that you contact us indicating that you are at this particular stage, we take it from there. So we don't have any stage limit to say at the beginning. If you have got an idea, or sometimes you are struggling to conceptualize the idea, you come, we assist you, we say this is how you can actually navigate the space, and we take it up from there. So we assist whoever is aspiring to become an entrepreneur. So that is where we come in. I see Dr. Stander, if I'm allowed, there is a question on the chat. Can I tackle that in the meantime?
Yes, you are welcome to.
Yes. Have you approached any government agency to assist with funding? Not at all. We haven't gone to that extent. But given the kind of aspirations that we want to do, it might happen that in the future we partner with some of the government agencies, like the CEDA, that is the, I think it's the Sector Education Development Agencies, something like that, which has the database of all the SMMEs in different sectors. So we may partner with those, but we will look at how the partnership can work, because we only provide with soft skills, which is training, and they can come at a different level, which I cannot preempt for now. But we are looking into that. Like I have indicated, that we are open for partnership, and we will approach them in the future. The last question on the chat, Dr. Standard, through you, there are also NYDA and other organizations that assist with funding and advice. It's not a train smash to provide people with choices as to where to go. If they are providing advice and funding and we are providing with training, people can choose where to go. If you think that you will get, the quicker help with the NYDA, you are free to can approach them. But if you feel that you can, approach, both of these agencies, both the agency and ourselves concurrently, you are at liberty to do so. We won't penalize you or prejudice you for having approached one of those agencies that are available there. Ours is to see you succeeding. How do you succeed? Whether you approach those, they assist you, at least it is our pleasure to see you succeeding. Whether you come to us and then you are able to hit the ground running without any difficulties, we are happy about that. So we accommodate whichever way you take. I think I have managed to cover all the questions that were posed to me, Dr. Stander. Unless otherwise there are still other questions that our students feel like I haven't covered them, they can still make follow-up. We still have, I think, is it 6 minutes, 5 minutes left?
Yes, there's about 5 minutes to go.
Yes. Yes.
For some more questions. Okay, there's somebody that says, okay, UNISA provides excellent training. However, if you require funding, then you would approach such organizations. So those different. So when it comes to funding of entrepreneurial ventures and that type of thing, it's always tricky, right? Because on where to go look for funds and how to find funds. Normala. But yes, there is different places that can assist with funding depending on the different levels and development of business models and business model canvases and ideas and that type of thing. So yes, the idea I think of best, Dr. Mabasa, is not necessarily to be a channel to funding, but they do have a databases of different types of funds as far as I understand, where they could direct you to. But again, and then Dr. Mabasa, correct me if I'm wrong, but if a student would like to have help with how to approach a specific application for funding from a specific place, you guys would also be able to help them with the application. It's not necessary that you would have any influence over the application, but you could fill in the forms with them. Am I right?
You are very correct, Dr. Stander, because now we don't want to overpromise things that we don't have control over. What we do is to look at your profile at the moment that you present yourself to us, to say, this is what I have in terms of the business idea, and this is what I want to do. And then we can give you maybe pointers that you can actually take. And taking those pointers is not mandatory or obligatory. You take them based on the needs and maybe the kind of leverage that you have, right? But we don't assist in terms of completing certain applications which would be submitted to certain agencies. We don't do that because now we are afraid of running a risk of if the application is not successful, you will come back and say, no, that application was not correctly completed. Those UNISA guys, no, they're not doing us justice. We don't want to go into that particular state, that particular space. What we do is to offer you training support and even to assist you in terms of breaking the mold. and starting your business with information, with soft skills information that you need at the start, during, and when you want to expand. So basically, that is what we do. I see, Dr. Standard, there is another question here through you, and I see a hand. Maybe you can facilitate that hand.
Okay, I will do the hand first. Let us, Nikita, you've got a question.
Hi, Dr. Sanderson. You're speaking to Nikita here. Thank you so much for the insights. I'm actually a business owner, and at the moment we are operational for 2 years. However, reached a phase within the business where we are experiencing growth. If I were to require support in terms of where I feel is lacking the financial aspect in terms of forward planning and growth planning, is that something that we can contact you? I can contact you for coaching on or consulting on, because it's very difficult sometimes to apply the theoretical knowledge that we have within our course into a practical environment, and that's where I feel that I lack personally.
Can I take that, Dr. Standard?
You're welcome to.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have got the experts in that particular field of finances. What we would do, you can approach us. Yes, you are free to approach us, and then we will assign a specialist in that particular space who will be able to take you through what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and how do you want to do that. So this particular person will be reporting back to us, but he will be able to do the assessment of your financial profile. I don't want to tap into all the technical details that he will do with you, but yes, he will
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Mabasa. I appreciate that. And how would I go about obtaining the consultative services? What is the procedure to follow?
You contact us on the email that we have provided on our presentation, and then once we receive it, we will initiate a conversation with you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. Standard, I think I have utilized all of your time, and even the ones that I was not budgeted for.
Okay, no problem.
But I see there is one question, if I'm not mistaken, that is still outstanding there.
I do see, yes.
Yes.
Okay. What's that email address, Dr. Mabasa? It's BES Inquiries.
Yeah, let me display it again. Yeah, there we go.
BES Inquiries at, my life. I'm putting it in the chat as well, so that the students can then, okay, that's in there. Thank you. Okay, it's in. Okay, it's in the chat. So if you would like to contact BES, you're welcome to contact them using that email address. So we will, I say there's a question relating to the Inhlanyelo Hub. They are coming to speak to you in a half an hour. First, I'm going to take some of your time to speak about the different project that we've just launched in the department that links up a little bit to Dr. Mabasa's project. You know, it's not part of their project, but it's a new project that we started. And it's still in its, let's say, infant shoes. We are still getting everything ready, but it's something that you might be interested in later on for, because we are definitely looking for master's and doctoral students when it comes to this. And so it is called Cattle Dog. I'm sure you all heard it a little bit earlier, Dr. Mabasa, when Prof. Boya spoke to it. So it's not about business education or skills. It is actually the process that we would like to map and record is actually a startup itself. that we want to see how it goes and how things work. So we want to use an open collaborative business model to reconstruct how value is created. So specifically in the textile industry in Southern Africa, we're going to work there, especially in the more coastal communities where you see a lot of factories that have closed. We would like to, and the idea behind it, and it's still in a startup, although, or it is still in a process, but its project has been approved by Senate, is we would like to look at different micro enterprises, so small little businesses, one person businesses that actually do the sewing and use. We're going to make some seasonless clothing, pull it into a bigger company that we buy then from our suppliers, which is the small micro enterprises. We will then facilitate contracting back into the bigger retail space, so you have some more bargaining power, but yeah, because you've got more players behind you, and then hopefully create a sustainable, open and collaborative business model that we could use. So this is a research focus area that still is going to open up. It's theoretically, it's situated in structuration theory, if one of you want to go read up on that. But yeah, so we're very excited about that specific project that is a bit more specific than entrepreneurship or business education and skills. But I can tell you guys, there are a lot of people out there that can give you advice. But I also know that Dr. Mabasa and their team are really there and really passionate about wanting to help UNISA students. They are arranging webinars on specific things that small businesses need. You know, we all start businesses out of different spaces, and it's always good to learn a little bit more and get a few more skills in place before you just, give up or don't know which way to turn. And like you said, it is not necessarily that I can promise you to get funds, but I can take your hand a little bit and show you which direction without, you know, telling you what to do. So always keep it in mind that we are at a university that is in the service of humanity. So we would like to help you all, and this is specifically if we go back again to the honors degree, why things are put together the way they are is that you are enabled at the end of this journey to either do a master's degree or exit and start your own business or help you develop your own business. Okay. Do we have any more questions with regards to these community engagement project? Dr. Mabasa, perhaps, do you know anything more about the Dean's Leadership conference that is coming up of the department?
No, not really, Dr. Stander. While you were looking for me earlier on, I was attending another meeting, and
Yes.
in that meeting, it was touched that there is a leadership, a Dean's leadership that is coming on, but I haven't checked with the details. What does it entails? And what are the areas that it will be focusing on. Perhaps we can even indicate, since I'm not sure whether Dr. Moraga is here, since you have indicated the cattle dogs, you gave them the background, what cattle dogs is all about. If Dr. Moraga was here, she would be able to give maybe the background of the other community engagement projects, so that at least we spoil our participants with choices to make.
Yes, no, definitely. Let me see if
it's a
it
women
is.
empowerment and financial inclusion thing. I don't know what they do in there, but that is the overall founding title. for that community engagement. So seemingly it looks at empowering women through financial inclusion. And I had her from another forum indicating that they will be partnering with a certain institution in Ethiopia. So yeah, basically that is that. They can actually look out for more information as that project develops.
Yes, Dr. Muraka is not in the meeting at the moment. She is the unfortunately, I think she's otherwise engaged. But yes, as far as I know, it's going to be a very interesting project. So, but it's also
Muraka.
Dr. Yeah, Muraka. Yeah, so it's going to be a very interesting project. And like Dr. Mabasa said, it's all about women empowerment. You can have a look at her research focus area for Dr. Moraka also on our departmental or university-wide research focus areas. It would give you some more information as to what research she's doing, and it necessarily the project would speak a little bit to that. Is there any other questions regarding the community engagement projects? And we welcome any participation from students. You know, if it is to give help or if you are working somewhere where Dr. Mabasa and them can get funding, you're also welcome to contact them and then speak to them about things that, you know, we've got a network. We need to work it different ways. I do think these type of things always goes two ways, you know. If you want to get involved in Cattle Dog, if you know of anything that could help us with that project or the Women Empowerment Project, reach out and send an email. You've got my email address, I'm sure, in the program. Otherwise, any other questions?
Dr. Stander, through you, I think this one you can assist in terms of responding to it. What is the innovation hub instead of club? Yeah, I think the person wants to know a bit more about the e-hub, what it does, and I see the presentation is forthcoming. Maybe we can defer the question to her.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Inhlanyelo Hub will be joining us now in about 15 minutes, and then they will tell you exactly what they are doing, how they are there to assist you, how they can help you, and then and you know how to contact them. More information on these projects is available on the departmental website. We are they have just been in through Senate for approval. So I do think all this information on the website is still being uploaded, but we will keep you posted. Maybe by the end of the week, we could ask the marketing guys to assist and just upload details on there. Tumelo.
Yes, Dr. Mabasa, just for you to be aware of, maybe it's probably something that you are aware of, that, you know, most corporates actually have a budget whereby they need to spend some of their funds for enterprise development. And I think your initiative actually most likely will qualify because you are offering a service for people to go into business and to offer, you know, consulting services to businesses. So I think just keep it as another option where you could actually approach the private sector for funding, because I think most likely you do qualify based on the kind of work that you do. So please just consider that for future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tumelo. Dr. Mabasa, I'm sure you wrote that down, and he will definitely consider it for when they need some funding. Yes, so like I said, the more I will get the details of the projects up on the departmental websites, we will make it available. Maybe a channel on the honors discussion teams class. so that you guys can have some more information on the projects. We are especially putting out a call for specific research questions and innovation regarding micro enterprises, and especially the textile industry. It's going to come through on the research, for research. So we are going to look for specifically master students that can answer specific questions and do specific sets of research. Tapiwa, I'm wondering if you are in the meeting already and we can go a little bit early. The program is running a bit earlier. If not, then we can just speak a little bit more on other things. Or
I'm here, Karen.
yeah, oh, thank you so much. Everybody is quite excited to hear about what you are doing, Tapiwa. So at the hub, so if you are ready for me, then I would like to hand over a little bit early to you.
That's fine. Just allow me the rights to share my screen. Karen? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mr. Tapiwa.
Oh, you can
yeah.
hear.
Sorry, I was lost for a moment. Sorry about that.
Yeah, just share the rights for me to share my screen. Or unless if you want me to just talk through the entrepreneurial ecosystem.
There you go. No, sorry, my internet got cut for a moment. I think it might be load shedding, but you are now a presenter.
Okay, thank you. Let me do that now. We are also, I'm in the office, but we experiencing issues with our Wi-Fi here. Just confirm you can see my screen.
Can?
You can, okay. So thank you so much, colleagues. Thank you for the time that you have allowed us to come and speak to you about the work we are doing at Inhlanyelo. So I was given, I see someone's hand is up. Did it go down? Okay, it's gone down. Yeah, so just to speak around the work we're doing at Inhlanyelo, but before I get to talking about the introduction to entrepreneurial ecosystem, which is the topic that was given to us to try and cover and canvas around, allow me to just give you an outline of what Inhlanyelo does, because I think it's important from the bit that I've listened to when I joined into the meeting, for us to just get the context around what Inhlanyelo is all about, who it is, and the likes. So Inhlanyelo, we are 100% owned by UNISA, or the University of South Africa. We are funded by the University of South Africa, established as a separate entity, but that is owned by UNISA. So what that means is, and this is then speaking to the very existence as to why we were set up, is to try and work through with staff, students, and communities to assist them with entrepreneurship, business ideas, startups, and be able to give the support for them to establish those businesses so that they can also participate in economic activities as well as create employment for those that are around them. So our mandate is to promote entrepreneurship across the university. And that covers staff members, that covers students, that covers alumni who are former UNISA students. That's why we were established. So that establishment is also in line with what the Department of Higher Education is trying to do in terms of promoting entrepreneurship among students, promoting entrepreneurship among staff members, as well as universities in general to be hives of activity in terms of entrepreneurship. Subsequent to that, the hub then was then established as an economic activation office. That is, it comes with a grant from EDE, which then supports us to establish that office in terms of the running operations of that particular office. So the vision then for us as the hub is to ensure that we continue to drive African innovation through sustainable entrepreneurship. You will realize that even as I go on, I will talk to some of these aspects. We don't just work through your idea. There's specific support that we give you to ensure that you are established and you are able to move on. And how we then walk towards that vision is around us now igniting that entrepreneurship and growing sustainable businesses. And some of the things we've been doing, even amongst the lecturers who will be then taking you through some of the modules that you do, is to be able to capacitate them in a way that they weave through the design thinking and entrepreneurship methodologies that we use through the modules. So over time, you will begin to see some of the approaches being adopted in some of the modules that you are doing. It's all emanating from that particular vision and mission that we have to be driving towards creating entrepreneurship at the center, or the entrepreneurial spirit at the center of what we do within the university. So I'm sure all of us are probably aware of the challenges that we are having. We are continuously producing us as people with qualifications, but the jobs are not coming through. As a result, there is that strong need for us to be creating people who can create employment. And our need now is to actually then make sure to say, how do we create a very strong design thinking or human-centered design thinking and creativity that lays the foundation of everything that we do? And what this is simply to say, whatever project, whatever we do, it's designed to come up with solutions to problems that people are facing in their communities. And then when we have identified those problems and we're creating those solutions, how do you then turn those solutions into business ideas? And from that, you then say, how do we then create a business out of that? Then we then come into giving you the skills that you need for you to do that. And then we can then give you the support that you need. So that slide there is just to talk about some of the services that we offer that look at us equipping you towards creating your own business opportunities. We have a methodology that we use to that. I'll talk to some of it as we go. And then there are programs also that are specific to women. For example, we have got the Drone Divas program. We have the first cohort that's graduating tomorrow. They've got drone pilot licenses already because of the programs that we have taken them through. That is specific for women. There's another one that we're working with people who have got artisan qualifications, in other words, plumbers, motor mechanics, electricians, and all these things. We are also helping them to create their own businesses. That is a program that is also happening, and this one is going to launch in Port Elizabeth around mid this year. Then there are other things that we are doing to give the support that we need to give to. So that, in a nutshell, is what Inhlanyelo is all about. We are funded by UNISA, and as a result, because we're targeting students, staff members, and former students who are alumni, the support and the programs that we offer are free of charge to you guys, should you be part of that particular program. So I will be touching on some of these aspects as we go on. I will just skip that next slide. I will skip the activity I would have wanted us to do just for the sake of time. So we are talking about an entrepreneurial ecosystem. Mostly we do not achieve much because we all want to go it alone. And there's always this fear to say, if I share my idea, it's going to be stolen. Maybe the fear is founded or it's unfounded. It's one of those things. But one of the things that's killing our ability to utilize the numbers that we have is working in silos. So the idea around creating an entrepreneurial ecosystem is to have that network of people, of companies, of institutions, of organizations that collectively come together and support the whole spectrum of entrepreneurship and innovation in such a way that we become more powerful working together than working as individuals. And I think for us at Inhlanyelo, this is one thing that drives us. We don't subscribe to working alone. Even the work we are doing, there's only 5 or 6 of us who are here. All the things we have achieved is because we have managed to harness the connections that we have within the system that we have created to be able to offer the support that is needed and to be able to offer the services that our customers, who are the students, who are the staff members, who are the alumni, can benefit from. So when you look at an entrepreneurial ecosystem, you are looking at entrepreneurs, you as students, academia, the alumni, the community members. And by community members, we're talking of wherever UNISA has a presence, there are people around. They are also part of the community because, or of the ecosystem that we are creating. Because without them, it will be difficult for us to actually come and introduce programs that can be then impactful to the community. Remember, we, for example, the one that I've talked about, the artisan one for women, we are getting into the TVET colleges that we're working with in a community. Those artisans come from that particular community or from those particular communities. As a result, whatever we will do with that particular artisan will benefit the people around them. So they become a critical component of that. Then we've got the Department of Higher Education. We've got our business advisors. Currently, we've got 10 business advisors that we utilize to give the support to mentees or to business people or entrepreneurs who struggle in certain areas. I had a question earlier to say, if I'm struggling in this particular area, are you able to assist us? That's what we utilize our business advisors for. Then we also have investors. Everyone is looking for money. And I might also just say upfront, at Inhlanyelo, if you come to us asking for funding, we will not be able to be of much help to you at the time when you're coming in. We want to be able to ensure that we take you through our processes so that we prepare you to be funding ready. So that by the time we put you in front of whoever who might be able to invest money in your venture, we would have de-risked the chances of you failing. So funding is not the first thing and the foremost thing in our minds. There are support structures that we put in place or that we have in place before we can get you to that stage of being funding ready. I'll talk to some of those as we proceed. Then I spoke about the work we are doing with TVETs. We'll be in Port Elizabeth next week, finalizing this proposal that we're talking about. There are 2 TVET colleges. Then we also utilize supporting service provider. So in our case, I'll just give an example of these 2. There's one that is called MOPSI Group. They're developing platforms for us that will then benefit you as you become part of the ecosystem within Inhlanyelo Hub. And then the other one is also Analyticas, who are also developing another platform that becomes part of the ecosystem. So when you look at an ecosystem, it's got these various components, and each party brings something that is valuable, that enhances the value of the ecosystem in general. Whereupon, if you had taken these as individuals, it would have been difficult for you to actually achieve that critical mass that you want to achieve. So with each collaborator or collaboration, and with each network and resources that are provided, it is critical for us as the hub to make sure that we create that platform that gives support to you as our customer. Because the moment we take you on board, we no longer view you just as a student. You are our customer. We are there to give that service that we are there to give you. So I spoke about already the two providers that we have who are developing the platforms. And those platforms are there to enhance your service as our service offering to you as our customer. I'll talk about the Digi franchises a bit down the line, because it then becomes critical for those that say we want to do business but we don't know where to start from and we have no idea on how to go about it. That platform is designed for you to be able to actually then start up your own business. So when you look at an entrepreneurial ecosystem, what does it provide? What does an entrepreneur or a vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem provide? So from our perspective, this is what we provide. We give you the necessary training that allows you to be equipped to how do you generate a business idea. If you are coming in and you are blank, you don't know what to do. We take you through the methodologies that help you to actually come up with a business idea. We don't end there. We then take you through the ideation courses that we have, which prepare you to be able to come up with an idea that is tested in the market, that shows the need in the market, and you can then be at the end of it all. When you're done in the 7 weeks online course that you're doing, you should have what we call a minimum viable product. This is at least a product or an idea that is testable, that shows that there is a need in the market, and that product actually can address the need that is existing in the market. When you are done with that course, the 7-week one, we then take you through what we call a business model canvas bootcamp. This is now assuming your idea is there, it's viable, there is a market for it. We are now getting into the nuts and bolts of that particular idea, where you then complete a business model canvas, which consists of 9 quadrants, where you discuss what are the key activities you need to do, what are the people you need to talk to, what are the revenue models, what are the costs of your business, what are the things that you need to do for you to actually get to the market. And all these things, they're all threshed out. By the time you're done with that, you are clear on what your business is, what your business, who's the target market, and the market has been validated, and you can be able to now say, I'm ready to go for market. And at that point, we already then give you the support of a business advisor who will then work with you to identify areas where you need support. So if you're struggling with financing side of things, or you're struggling with the marketing side of things, or whatever area it may be, that business advisor journeys with you. You agree on milestones you need to achieve. So if your advisor says for this month, you're going to have to achieve 10 customers, you work towards achieving those 10 customers as a milestone that you'd have agreed. And they're now at this point, there are contracts that you are signing. Remember, it's not costing you anything, but it costs us money. And for us, we need to make sure that we are channeling the resources to people who are committed. That's why these agreements need to be in place. And you're already in the incubation process, whereupon not only do we assign an advisor, we also offer you office space. We offer you connectivity, internet. We give you the support that you need, access to markets, to networks, that will then be able to allow you to connect with different people who will then be able to assist you in your journey to success. Now, in this whole ecosystem, we also remember we work within the parameters of the government, right? What the policies that the government has. And what is then the role of the government policy in an ecosystem? Obviously, we know the government is putting a lot of emphasis on small business development. As the hub, we have not yet started tapping into that space. We will eventually get there, but we are wanting to make sure that our things are in order so that when we then begin to engage with the business of the government side, we know exactly where we want them to come in. So there is some conversations that are underway with some of the government entities that we are going to then bring on board. And all this is to try and continue to give the support that is necessary. And some of the support we're offering already, you will realize that when the moment you get onto our platform, there are compliance aspects that you need to be able to deal with. That platform allows you to already handle that side of things. So eventually, we are already complying with government policies that are in existence. But the way we are doing it is in such a way that it does not become a burden on you, because you need to just focus on you setting up and running your business. So we take that stress away from you as well, and ensuring that we allow you to focus on that which matters, which is the success of the business. So as Inhlanyelo, I will talk about some of the incubator support system that we have. I have already mentioned the entrepreneurship program that we offer, ideation, the BMC. There's one that you are going to start hearing, is depending on where you are now in your studies, is what we are calling a capstone module, which is a practical hands-on project that you need to work with teammates, that you then present at an expo, which gets evaluated. And depending on the project that you're working on, at this expo, it attracts funders, it attracts all kinds of stakeholders, which you may never know. Your project might then find funders who may then want to work with you and give you access to a whole lot of other resources that may be available. And the incubation I spoke about, we give you the office space, we give you a business advisor, internet connectivity, network opportunities, and all these things. And again, depending on where you are, there are scale-up programs that are available to make sure that you increase your capacity and you scale that business. And when you're done with us, because for the incubation, we give you a maximum of 3 years. We believe if you follow what we are asking you to do, in 3 years, you should be able to ensure that your business is up and running and you can stand on your own. We then take you out of the incubation program. But there is what we are calling the postgrad program, which then gives you other kinds of support to make sure that your business continues to be sustainable and it reaches the heights it's designed to reach. We have co-working spaces here. We are in Sunnyside Building 5. We have got computers, we've got office space, we've got desks, we've got connectivity and all that. But for you to qualify to be at this stage, remember what I said, you would have done your ideation, you would have done your BMC, and it's assessed that and evaluated that your business idea is really ready for the market. And we then begin to give you that office space. So right now, we've got about 8 startups that are in this space, and they are good to go. I spoke about the mentorship already. I won't repeat myself or bore you to death. There are also networking opportunities where companies, experts come in and talk to you and give you the support. And that's where the linkages then come up. And again, when we feel you are funding ready, we can now begin to ensure that we put you in front of funders, different kind of funders, who can then begin to put money or consider to put money into your business. And for us to get to this point, we can be confidently saying to the funder, this is the process we have taken this business, and this is the point where it is at, and we believe they are ready for you to start talking about you putting money. You then need to pitch your idea to the potential funders, and if you win and they're happy, they'll then put money in there. And we are doing this, like I've said, to de-risk the chances of failure and to also ensure that you've got the necessary support before people starting putting in huge sums of money into the business. So other components that you can look at when you're looking at an entrepreneurship ecosystem or entrepreneurial ecosystem, I've already spoken about access to funding, which can be provided by venture capitalists, crowdfunding, government grants, and loans. All these are designed to propel you to grow and to even bring in some more innovation in the work that you'll be doing. We also have in that ecosystem academic institutions and research. These are also to drive entrepreneurship and leading as well to commercialization, technology transfer. And in our case, we don't do commercialization, we don't do tech transfer. We work with DITTC. They will then help you and assist you with the registration of your IP, the commercialization and all that. And that's how we then work with them as part of the ecosystem that we have created. And also we engage with a number of companies as well. Some of them are service providers. We create partnerships with them, and we allow for programs to be able to ensure that they know exactly what we are working on and what we are doing as UNISA. Now, every ecosystem has got challenges, but for us at Inhlanyelo, we actually leverage technology to overcome and to try and overcome the hardships that ordinarily will be found within an ecosystem. And some of these hardships are, for example, access to capital, talent retention, regulatory barriers, and also market access. We utilize technology to try and circumvent those challenges. Let me give you just two examples. The first one is the digital franchises. We call them digi franchises that we are rolling out early April. These are curated business opportunities. And as they are curated, all you need to do is when you sign up for wanting to be a digi franchise operator, you need a smartphone device that allows you to then go through the training, that allows you to go through the specific, so there's the general running of the business and the entrepreneurship side of things. That's one aspect of the training that will take you through. The other aspect that will take you through is a training that has to be aligned with the specific digi franchise that you have signed up for. And in there, it's standardized. You know what you're getting. You know how much you are charging. All you need to do is to go and look for customers. Your customers will come onto the platform. They book your services on that platform. Everything is on that platform. Payment, everything. Once the customer pays, you go and you provide the service. Once the customer confirms that the service has been provided, money is then released to you. It's cashless. There's nothing that you need to do in that way. All you need to do is go look for customers and you then make your money. The beauty about this particular platform as well is, as you engage with your customer and you provide the service, it automatically creates the financials for you. In other words, your financial statements. So if you want to know how much revenue you have raised in a month, you log in, you access the platform, it will tell you the revenues that you have raised in that month. The costs incurred in running that business for that month, it will show you. So you can do it on a quarterly, you can do it on a monthly, you can do it on a half year, you can do it on a year. So you don't need to worry about the finances because the platform itself is designed to extract that information as your customers are booking, as you're providing the service, that is already automatically part of this of that particular platform. So currently there are 12 DG franchises that will be ready for testing beginning of the first week of April. And if you are interested in that, watch this space. When the call goes out, it's a curated business opportunity. All you need to do is to sign up, get into the training, and do the rest. The second aspect or offering around that, how we are circumventing the hardships of an entrepreneurial ecosystem, where people will say, I don't know what to start, where to do, where to go, and all these things, is around the Inhlanyelo Connect, where we are creating a marketplace. So as Inhlanyelo, we are having what we call a virtual mobile network operator. That's what we are going to be. And we are testing this thing at the moment. And once it's ready for us to roll out, you can buy data from us. And the moment you onboard yourself on there, you are part of that ecosystem. And as it is part of that ecosystem, and it will be integrated with the DG franchise. What it means is you'll be able to market your services upon on that particular Inhlanyelo Connect. It becomes a marketplace where you can then begin to market your own services that you're offering. It doesn't need to be only the DG franchise business. It might be a business that you have and you're part of the Inhlanyelo Connect, where you can be able to then market your own service. So it's a marketplace that we have actually created around that. So those are the ways in which we are circumventing challenges that exist when someone is wanting to start up. So they are curated business opportunities, or you come in with your own business idea. We help you shape it out to launch it, and we give you the support, as mentioned, that you can then be up to a maximum of 3 years. Once you qualify for that incubation, there's an evaluation we do. It's very extensive. Once you qualify, then we can take you on and we can begin to then journey with you towards ensuring that your business is successful and is growing in the direction that it needs to go. Now, that said, back to the topic of discussion, which is introduction to an entrepreneurial ecosystem. I'm gonna share one case study of an entrepreneurial ecosystem that is in Africa that works very well. And the idea is for us to learn and pick what works and what doesn't. And you can also identify where do you come in, what kind of support is Inhlanyelo building towards in trying to create this ecosystem. As it is with our ecosystem, which is working very perfectly, but we also want it to be better. We also want it to increase. We also want to learn from what other countries are doing and what goes on in those countries as well with regards to the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So Nairobi, Kenya provides a compelling one. So they've got what they call a Silicon Savannah, which is an entrepreneurial ecosystem that is in Nairobi, Kenya. And this ecosystem is considered to be dynamic and very innovative in the way in which it drives and contribute to a vibrant ecosystem that is being created, working together with different partners. The government is included, institutions are included, universities are included, as well as other companies. So the question then is, what makes the Silicon Savannah vibrant? What makes it vibrant, right? Number one, there's that aspect around access to capital, where there are venture capitals, angel investors. They've managed to create a network that benefits the whole entrepreneurs that are part of that ecosystem. And these companies are willing to invest in promising startups. And these are actually run. An example would be the Nairobi Innovation Week. They run that. There's also the Nairobi Innovation Challenge Fund, which is a fund that was set up to benefit this. And these are citywide, because as Nairobi, it's a city that is in Kenya. These are citywide, and they identify these opportunities to ensure that they then support the entrepreneurs. Some of the things that they do as well is making sure that the ecosystem thrives. They run a lot of tech hubs and innovation spaces. There are just three here which I can give. There's the iHub, NILab, which is Nairobi Lab, which is shortened to NILab, and then there's the Nairobi Garage. These provide co-working spaces, they provide mentorship programs, they provide networking events, they also provide access to resources that the startups can have access to. And what sets this Silicon Savannah apart is how the different stakeholders have just come together. They're not operating in silos. They come together and they pull these resources together to provide this kind of support that I think the rest of Africa will be able to emulate and be able to implement, because even here in South Africa, we seem to be in silos. This one is doing their own, this one is doing their own. But what makes the one in Nairobi to thrive is they've managed to just coalesce on one idea, and they've been running around it, and they've actually set up these things in place, and they're achieving milestones. Then there is also the mobile and fintech innovation that is taking place. I think most of us will be very familiar with M-Pesa, which is a mobile payment platform. What M-Pesa has done, in fact, it's not only in Kenya and East Africa, is that it has now become a launchpad that is used for all the other mobile technologies that address financial inclusion in East Africa. So it's one platform that became so big, and then there are now offshoots that are coming out of that M-Pesa one. Right. And this is what makes it this particular ecosystem thrive, because it's now also hinging on the mobile and fintech innovation. And that innovation, or those innovations, are actually then the nucleus that is driving all the other fintech innovations that are taking place within Nairobi as well as the whole of East Africa. So they also have a very strong entrepreneurial culture. So if you have been to Nairobi, you realize that it's a serious hive of activity. At 5 o'clock, where you would think people are going home, people are actually flocking into the city to actually start running their businesses. I've met a couple of Uber drivers who have got full-time jobs somewhere, and people they've got more, what's the word I'm looking for? They've got some level of resilience or spirit of resilience that make them work extraordinarily hard, and the kind of creativity with collaborations that they have allows for that culture to filter right through the society. You'll find someone who's doing something that generates money, and their economic participation becomes very big. So you discover Kenya has actually been one of those that is, especially in Africa, that has received a lot of startup money or startup funding, even from international organizations. They also run what they call Startup Weekend Nairobi. Investors come in, industry come in. There's the Nairobi Tech Week, which also bring entrepreneurs. And I'm talking of things that are not run only institution or university wide. I'm talking of a city-wide, a county-wide, because they use the county system there, where all these things are happening within the whole county. All these things are happening within the whole city. So these are some of the things that make this a strong entrepreneurial culture that benefits the whole institutions, entrepreneurs as well. And universities have also come through. Let me talk about Strathmore University. Strathmore University, if you do a computer software engineering, because they specializes in those sciences, they have placements with companies. So you will find that anyone who goes through their programs has got an opportunity to be doing some time with an institution where they can actually practice their skills. And this plays a significant role in driving innovation and entrepreneurship. And these institutions offer these programs, they offer their facilities, they offer the technology transfer initiatives. So they are not closed systems. They open up for entrepreneurs to have access and for them to actually have opportunities then to practice which those things that they would have learned in their schoolwork. Also, the government of Kenya provides the support. They have some tax incentives which they have already offered to the programs and those that are offering these programs. And these are some of the things that then help, because if there are tax incentives, then it reduces the burden for the entrepreneurs in terms of compliance. They also have linkages along the lines of the talent that they've created. And a lot of these, so for example, let me take the Moringa School, which provides training and mentorship for aspiring tech talent. It's a school that, again, this one also focuses on tech side of things, software engineering, software development, coding, and stuff like that. But they don't do it in isolation. They create a pool of talent. So companies, when they look for people who are to do coding or some data analytics, they know where to go. Moringa will provide the database. So these companies are able to then say, we don't just go to the market random. They know the schools, the Andela and Moringa. They know those companies, these schools, they've got a talent pool. They go and hire from those talent pools. And for those related field of software development, data science, and also software engineering. So that's collaboration between the industry and the schools that are producing the graduates or the students or the tech population. They work together to ensure that ecosystem works very well. And finally, Nairobi is actually the regional hub for entrepreneurship and innovation. It attracts a whole lot of entrepreneurs and investors from across East Africa as well as Africa. If you want to do just some homework, you realize that companies that have actually left South Africa and they've set up their base in Nairobi, one of the key factors they will tell you the reason why they've relocated is because of this particular aspect around access to talent, access to the collaborative networks that are there. So the city has taken that strategic location and is harnessing that in creating a very strong connectivity and growing ecosystem that ensures that it continues to be vibrant and continues to grow. And it's a citywide initiative, a county-wide initiative that benefits the entrepreneurs that are part of that particular ecosystem. So I end there, and I can take some questions, some clarifications, or anything that might be needed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. There was a question in the chat on how are you guys different to the current CEDA offerings. Prof. Davis did give me a reply, but perhaps you can also go a little bit into detail into that, and then the students are welcome to raise your hands, and I will facilitate the questions for you.
No, I think Prof. Davis's response suffices, because we're not in competition with CEDA or anything. In any case, we're actually planning to bring them on board in a way that by the time we approach them, all our people will be ready for incubation and for funding, because we'd have done all the groundwork. So we're not in competition. We're actually looking for collaboration with CEDA so that we can get access. So we are looking to get them to be part of our ecosystem as well. So our ecosystem keeps growing.
Awesome. No, definitely. I was saying earlier also, if students are from a government and they do know, you're welcome, I'm sure, to contact Dr. Tapiwa, and they are open to speak to you guys about this type of thing as well. Questions from the floor, guys? Everyone is quiet. I had
But-
some academics though send me WhatsApps. Wow, I didn't know. So,
Yeah.
but there is one question. Makole.
I'm sure they are muted. Do you want to mute yourself?
Let me see if I can find them and we can unmute.
Yeah, so while we are doing that, so with Inhlanyelo, we are ready to work with anyone. We are open. If you have an idea and we think it will benefit the ecosystem, we are open to have everyone joining us and be part of that particular ecosystem. And again, because of the nature of support we give, we ensure that we make you ready for the next stage of wherever you are at in your either the ideation of your business or you're already running something. We take you on at the level where you are at, and we don't chase anyone away. If we believe no, you still need to have an aspect addressed, we take you back to that step, and then once we are satisfied that you are ready, we can then begin to pour more resources into supporting your business. And that's how our model of operation comes in.
There's a Tumelo.
Hi, Dr. Tapiwa. Thank you for your excellent presentation. I think the reason we are all quiet is that we are absorbing all the information that we've been getting. But thank you. I've personally learned quite a lot today. I just wanted to check something. You mentioned that your hub, if I may call it, your physical hub is actually in Sunnyside, Pretoria. Is that the only hub that is a walking hub, or are there other ones around the country? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Tumela. I was beginning to worry that I've confused everyone. That's why they're not talking to me anymore. So, yeah. So currently, just because of resourcing, we have one that is physically here in Pretoria, but we have a virtual incubation program which then gives support virtually. So you could be operating in KZN or wherever. We still can support you through the virtual. So what that means is if we have taken you on and we have allocated a business advisor, everything that you're doing with the business advisor will be via the online platforms that we have. That's one aspect. Depending on the potential of the business, we are in a process. It's in conversations at this point. We have got UNISA regional centers where we can actually begin to negotiate for you to get an office desk or a desk or where you can walk in and come and do your business from that area stage. But so far, it's just in the conversation stage. We haven't had anyone requesting that, because the potential of the business has to justify the arrangements or for us talking to. But I can assure you, most of our regional centers, they know the work we are doing because we have done ideation courses or workshops in their spaces in the last year. So they know about us, they know what the thinking and the plans are, and it will be just a matter of then saying if we get someone, we can then take that conversation to the next level. So even if you're not in Pretoria, support is still available and we will be able to still be there to give you the support.
Thank you for that, Dr. Tapio. Another follow-up question now is that earlier on you mentioned that currently there's about 8 startups that are ready to go.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing in which industries these particular startups are involved in? Even if you mention 2 or 3 off the top of your head.
Give me a second. Which sector do you think they are in? Let me test
Most likely, I would think technology, something to do with technology, my personal research also, I've been considering things like into property development and as well as farming. So those are those are my top three sectors that I personally am having more interest in and researching a bit more. But yes, I would be interested. It will be interesting to find out what are the sectors that are being, you
Yeah.
guys are considering.
So
Yeah.
by and large, you are in the right. So the sectors, we've got tourism. I'm sure you can see my screen there.
Yes.
We've got tourism, we've got ICT education, we've got consultants, we've got tourism, we've got marketing, comms and wellness, manufacturing, construction and toys, ceramics, green energy and smart agriculture, and then another one, green energy, educational and gaming, as well as nutrition supplements.
No, thank you. So at least I got probably three right when I even mentioned a bit of
Yeah.
farming. Because now my question would be now, let's say I have some ideas. Specifically, let me talk about farming and smart farming.
Yeah.
Now I want to obviously leverage the knowledge that already exists.
Yeah.
How do you protect the IP of the various role players? Because you did mention that one of our shortcomings, specifically here in South Africa, is that everybody tends to work in silos instead of saying, okay, let's put our ideas together and create something much bigger. What is the current model and how do you protect the IP of all the various role players? Thank you.
Yeah. So what we do is where there are potential IP issues or IP requirements, we then convey you to our colleagues in DITTC. But that doesn't mean we are we are how can I put it? We are throwing you there. They will then help you securing the IP and establishing that IP so that that legal part is protected. Then on our side, we'll continue to give you the support going forward. Does that make sense?
No, definitely. No, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And on the side of our business advisors, they have non-disclosure agreements that they need to sign. So as they work with you, they can't steal your idea or they can't take that idea and make them theirs because of the non-disclosure agreement that you. So that's like the two-layered way that we use to protect.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Tapio, I was reading, I think some of the university professors, I think it's Harvard in the USA, where some of them you would find there, because, as academics, you do quite extensive research and you know where potential opportunities are. But then you will find that academics as well, either privately, they are able to source their own funds so that they themselves as academics, professors, doctors, you name it, they can also actually co-invest with an entrepreneur so that as you are giving guidance and mentorship, you actually have skin in the game that should, this company or enterprise grow, you also have a financial benefit, which I think for me is actually a far better and a more sustainable model going forward, because all the academics know that their efforts are not going to waste. As they spend sleepless nights researching different ways of doing business, they also actually have a potential benefit. They have a stake in the business. So probably it's something, I'm not sure what UNISA's policy is regarding that, but considering that other top universities in the world are pursuing that, it's something probably that UNISA can consider. But just the thought.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No. I think that's why you find that our mandate extends to staff members as well. Right, because remember I said our constituents is actually current students, staff members, as well as the communities. So they will be covered, the faculty members are covered in that particular aspect. Yeah.
But then can they also co-invest? That's a key thing, because I think
Yeah.
sometimes when you say they obviously, yes, there will be grounds for saying that people should sign non-disclosure agreements so that people's ideas are not stolen and all that. But sometimes it's a case of a person may have an idea, but then they will need a person of your caliber to actually polish it a little bit and also come up with some ideas on how to take a good idea and make it great. Now,
Yes.
what I'm saying is that if let's say Professor Tapiwa has know some people who can actually bring in money on the table to take this thing to the next level. I don't think it should be, it would be wrong to say, okay, let's create a company whereby uh, various academics or whoever gets involved also becomes a shareholder. That's just my
So
perspective. Yes.
yeah, it's in the agreements, right? Which is something there's a provision for that. There's a
Okay.
provision for that. Yeah. Yeah, I see there's another
Other
hand.
question, yes. Where that student, it's B Moloisi. Oh my, I struggle sometimes with the surnames. Moloisi, yes.
Go ahead.
Hello, Dr. Tapio.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for the presentation. There's a lot that one has picked up from it. I can see that my question is partly answered based on the list that we've just shown, that we are also involved in the manufacturing space. But in particularly, I just wanted to know if that list is that a complete list, because I can see, or what I'm actually interested in doing is to do the packaging. So that is a business line that I want to do. When I say packaging, it will be like manufacturing of like your boxes, your plastic packaging and stuff. Is that part of the Inhlanyelo hub?
Yeah. So what I just showed you, though, those are people we've gone through, and it's also staff and students, eh? Those are people who have gone through the preparation I spoke about, and now we are incubating them. In other words, we're now giving them a full business advisor, office space, and all the kind of support that will be needed based on what would have determined for them to be successful. So currently there are 8, and we don't do huge numbers just for the sake of numbers. Remember what I said, we want to prepare people so that they can actually be successful. And those ones, we are journeying with them. They are from different sectors. So the manufacturing one that you saw there is actually a law student who went into a business with with their brother, and they're now running that business. And they've gone through all that which I spoke about earlier, and now we are taking them on for further support. So we don't limit it, as long as your business idea has been tested through the processes I've explained, and it shows there's a market and all that. And then, so it doesn't limit anyone. And we don't limit to say we only want 5 in manufacturing or 5 in this. No. As long as there are viable business opportunities, we give the support.
Thank you very much. Clear on my side. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I see there's a question around Polokwane. We are in Polokwane for a physical ideation course 8 to 11 July. Watch the website, watch the UNISA announcements. We are going to be in Polokwane 8 to 11 July. There will be a physical ideation workshop. That then becomes the starting point. If you want to then do it before, watch out for the call as well for the online ideation course, which will then be running online. It runs for 7 weeks, twice a week. It also goes through, take you through the whole process that I've mentioned. So yes, you can access those services. 2 options at the moment, online as well as the physical one that's coming in July.
Dr. Tapia, would you mind just when those come out, dropping them to me in an email, and then I can upload them for the honor students in our teams chat? Then they can also have some extra access to it.
No, it will come, we'll do that. And also just check the website. I know in just a few more days on our website, the full calendar of events on which program is running where, and it will be on our website. So all you need to do is click, go to the form, register, and the rest, we take it from there.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you so much. Any more questions for Dr. Tapiwa? I think they are all thinking I bet you guys didn't think that UNISA does all these things. Dr. Tapiwa was speaking to today. Dr. Tapiwa, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it. And as the Department of Business Management, we are always excited about these type of things and plugging into your network and having you plugging into our network. So thank you again for taking the time, and I know you are really busy joining us today. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you,
And
Dr.
then
Karen, and we truly appreciate the opportunity. Let's see what we can do together. And I think up next are the pitching competitions. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, so for the guys who's doing HR Buzz, my module, the research project, you will meet up with Dr. Tapiwa next year. And coming up that we have about 27 groups that have registered to pitch Inhlanyelo Hub. So it's going to be fun and exciting. We will invite this cohort to come listen to last year's cohort. So interesting time coming up for us. Thank you very much again for also with all your help with that, Tapiwa. I really appreciate it.
That's all good.
Okay, guys, and that brings us to the end of the day one of Honors Week. I know it's been a lot to take in. I'm going to stop the recording. I'm able to edit all the videos by the end of the week. It's not necessarily